Hola, yes, it's me, MWM, Michael Woods, son of Oslane Absalon. Michael stands for my great uncle Michael Ryan, who's the maritime ship architect of World War I, who designed the Cement Liberty ships. I am a Woods, as in Claude C. Woods in Woodbridge, California. And I am a son of Oslane, or Absalom. And yes, our family records go all the way back to 750 AD. But that's not why I contacted you. So, we're looking at this beautiful Vista Park that nobody really utilizes except for me and the dowfers and all the wild animals around here. It's quite a fascinating ecosystem. So, musicians against multiple sclerosis. How does that tie into agriculture and R&D? Well, MS, such as Parkinson's syndrome and ALS, are all under the same etiology base. It's coming from toxic products from our agricultural industry, including our packaging, distribution, etc. So, to go after the etiology of multiple sclerosis, you have to look at what's going into the system and causing this disruption in synchronicity. And that is the agricultural industry, which is now being reformed back to multi-crop farming with cornerstone crops of R&D, indigenous medicinal cannabinol agricultural industry, which includes the hemp industry, which again has to come in through R&D. That's NorCal Cannabis Growers Association, which is an agricultural marketing cooperative, R&D, which allows us to self-insure through collective or cooperative monopolization of the industry from the inside out. We have obtained all of the laws and the sequelae of how the system unfolds. That was delivered in 2016 by the Honorable Secretary of Agriculture of California, the CDFA, Miss Karen Ross, which said it would take until 2022 to get all of the codes implemented and disseminated to each county. Speaking of counties, we're after 45 cannabis agricultural-based economic systems, which with the a-natural fire disaster capitalism model allows us to come in to these farms with allodial land titles and to set up an independent system, including a land bank, which allows us to self-insure in fire zones. I think you get the picture of that. That's a member-owned, operated agricultural cooperative. It's implemented, managed, and marketed by the 501(c) for-profit division, which is CA Sunbuds, a consortium of divisions/companies that are required under this R&D model, including data dissemination, energy production, water production, independence through a new form of utilities, along with the nursery model where 90% of all our cultivation is performed, then into the flowering greenhouses that can be scaled from a quarter acre to a full acre, and then depending on how much land you have, you can put it under a collective farm model where each flowering greenhouse is an independent farm. Still all implemented and managed by CA Sunbuds, so it's a micro system that works as a macro system through our universal CA Sundex exchange, which is part of 423 R&D, which comes under CA Sunbuds again. We've got ag R&D, water R&D, energy R&D, data R&D, robotics R&D, drone R&D. Everything is going to mechanized, but it still requires the holographic human mind to operate it. So to implement the program through the UC Master Gardeners program, the California Climate Adaptation Learning Network, the 4-H, the soil composition system, which this template down the road from me called Cottle Family Farms Park is a perfect example of how we can utilize a small portion but organize the entire system. It is also a place to throw events, to disseminate data, and there's allodial land titles sitting on one side of that farm that is owned by the Cottle family, which has been reduced to a shell. They're not even operating their produce market. They've got a historical landmark and farming industry that is set to be taken over by an independent 501(c) to complete the model, while retrofitting and rebooting their orchards and their 4-H, their UC Master Gardeners program, the CalCan program, and NorCal CGA's agricultural marketing cooperative model. So that brings in every component of the agrotech industry. So a shout out to James Kaufman, a shout out to DJ Cleary, a shout out to George Pate, a shout out to James Brenza, a shout out to many of you, including Anete Udofia, who is our American Nigerian global diplomat. We're also in Central and South America with the Pablo Leon of Patagonia, Buenos Aires. That covers that whole region in there. And then again back to Butte Meadows, California, where that connects us to Honduras, where a private island natural state exists, which is a straight shot up into Corpus Christi and into Texas. So our main